Hey, welcome to my spiritual journal. It's your soul sister, Iona. We're on day 15 of my spiritual journal, Intentional Living for Lightworkers. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about contribution freedom for intentional living. It's Monday at the time of me going live for this YouTube podcast episode. So welcome if you're new to the Soul Legacy TV and you're watching or you're listening. Consider subscribing or following the Soul Legacy TV. I talk about spirituality and business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout. We take our soul path of least resistance to put our light work out there so that we can serve one to many and actually earn passive and leveraged income. So let's dive into day 15. It is hey love, hey Robin. I thought that somebody was coming on there. So this is my Soul Legacy journal. It's a Soul Legacy journal and a notebook that I actually have on Lulu, and it's previewing on Amazon. So when it is up to date, then I will let you guys know, and I'll put the link down below if you'd like a copy. It's a small, it's not a spiral bound notebook on Amazon, and it's smaller. But I will be having the male version of this. So I'll probably take the eyes off and just make it black. And so we'll have the Soul Legacy journal for men as well. So, hey, Robin, how you doing, love? So for those of you who do not know, Robin Nutt of the Energy Healing TV and podcast is my lead soul guided instructor for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network and the SoulLegacyAcademy.com. So I am so excited about today because I've had a nap and I've woken up and I'm fired up. I've got a lot to say in my spiritual journal today, and it's I call it a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So I'm all about supporting the light work in the world. I'll share my spiritual routines. You can journal along with me, and I'll share my spiritual rituals. I've been doing this. This is day 15. Robin says, hey, everyone. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. So I've got a quote to share, which I've written down. It's a Bruce Lee quote. I've got a Keepers of the Light card, which I've just pulled. And I was like, it didn't jump out at me the way that the cards have usually jumped out. But we've seen this card before, Robin. And it was a time where I was pausing and resetting. And today I felt like a pause and a reset in my energy. My energy dipped today. So I'm going to talk about contribution freedom and how we are sometimes in soul funk and in soul flow. And so I'm going to rate my contribution freedom today in terms of how connected I felt today. And that just peaked. It just went up. So yay for the power nap. I'm known for having power naps. They've actually spread it into Robin's world as well. Let me know if you power nap. I'm going to talk about crystals and chakras, which is Robin's area of expertise, and she's been sharing with me about your energy. We know that we're energy, right? So I talk about intentional living. I talk about the law of vibration. I talk about your spiritual vision boards. And so that kind of leads this intentional living and my spiritual journal, my spiritual vision board. Without my vision of making my difference in the world as a light worker, which I didn't know what it was back then to be a light worker. I had no clue. I just felt cold. And I kept pursuing this vision, and I keep pursuing this vision. And today I was like, the points where you think, are you kidding me? Like, I've been on this journey for a really long time, and I had a little bit of an epiphany just before coming on to this live. So let me share this quote with you, this Bruce Lee tip, which I've just got from my Momentum app. I haven't been in my office all day, but I did go in my office this morning, and I went in. So this is what I think started the dip actually in reflection. So in my spiritual journal, I log how I'm feeling, like I said, in soul funk or in soul flow, and just living intentionally means setting that vibration and for me, your vision, your vibration, and your values matter. So I will notice that every single day. So today I went into my office, but I wasn't even going to go in for very long. So I've just launched YouTube ads. And I went to go record the process because that's kind of what I promised myself I'd do. Like, I'm learning, I'm all about it. And my Mac just froze, and I was like, this is not cool. Like, how am I supposed to, I'm saying out loud, how am I supposed to do my work in the world if you're going to freeze on me? If you, and I'm talking through this frozen bits because sometimes it catches up with itself. It's Screencast-O-Matic I use. This is StreamYard that I'm using. But for my recordings, I'll often use Screencast-O-Matic. I think it's Screencast-O-Matic. So it's just freezing. So I'm carrying on talking because sometimes it catches up and I'm like, dude, it's completely frozen. So I came out of the office and I'm like talking like you do Angel's Guide to whoever's actually listening. It's like, what the heck is that? You know, when you want to swear, what? So I came out of the office and I think that was the dip for me. Let me know if there's points in your day where you're thinking about how you want to contribute out into the world and how you want to create your YouTube channel if you've got a YouTube channel, or create a spiritual business, whatever. And there's things in your day that block you and you're just like, and then you spiral down that point of attraction spiral. So it did for me today. So anyway, my momentum app, I went into the office again to go and get this quote off my momentum app, off my Mac. Every day I will see a quote and it will inspire me, which I didn't look today before I actually did that. So I'll remember when I go in tomorrow to look for the quote first to set the energy. So this is a quote by Bruce Lee. It says, empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean, Bruce Lee? Because you know he was like genius. Empty your cup. So what does that mean for you? I'm going to read it again. Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality. I'm just like, so first of all, being intentional, living intentionally, intentional living for me is being in alignment with my values, right? And being in alignment with the words that I speak, the words that come out of my mouth. So I will look up words like all day long. And when I first came across intentional living, and then I would look up words like intentional eating, intentional parenting, intentional, just being intentional, right? Set my soul intentions. So I looked up the word devoid and I looked up the word totality. And so devoid being, Robin says, oh, thank you, Robin. Oh, yes, I have things that will bring a dip in my energy. Yeah, I'm like, how's today? We'll talk about our rating of contribution freedom in just a second after I've finished with this quote. So empty your cup, dump out the old stuff. Yes. So if you're watching on the replay, let me know what that actually means to you, because other people's words, we just catch them. We're vibrating at the frequency where we can catch the thoughts in the ether and bring them to us and actually use that power of their words and their thoughts. Make room for the new. Yeah. So that devoid was that free from, that empty, that so lacking from, it said. And then the totality, the whole of something. So I'm like, okay, empty your cup so that it may be filled. So you're thinking of whatever is not serving you, right? Whatever is not serving you, like you said, removing that, letting go, releasing, just allowing it to, sometimes it's quite scary to let go of the things that even if they don't serve you, because it's like, well, what is going to replace it? It's a nurturable, it's a vacuum. So that's kind of how I see it, is so that it become devoid, so to gain totality. So just from a blank slate. And so I love that, to become whole. So when we're thinking of doing our light work and contributing out into the world, sometimes it is that we want to keep on going with the thing, and sometimes it is letting go. And I've done that over and over again, and I'll let you know what my my insight was in just a second. So Robin, we talk about, so if you're new to the Soul Legacy Journal and journaling along with me, then I talk about your spiritual vision board in terms of how you want to contribute into the world, how you want to build your spiritual business, how you want to earn passive income and leverage income, and build a YouTube channel, work online, build your soul signature system, all the things that you have in business, all of the moving parts. And so I have a vision on my spiritual vision board to write my book, to set up this YouTube channel, for it to really go off and have such a burning desire to do that. And so on a Monday, that's what I'll talk about. I'll talk about my vision. On a Tuesday, I'll talk about health freedom, just being really healthy while I do that, so my health doesn't go to pot. So that hence the nap, because I'm working on my sleep. So when I feel a certain way, I'll just have a nap. We talk about emotional freedom on a Wednesday, which every single day we touch on these pieces anyway. So it's not like we only live intentionally and we only focus on our health on a Tuesday, and we only focus on our emotions on a Wednesday. I'm very in tune and very intentional. So I noticed my emotions today that had me spiral down, not like real far down, but far down for me. When you are vibrating at a high frequency, often just a little dip will feel like boom. For me anyway, it feels really like a sharp dip. Let me know if that feels like that for you. So on a Thursday, I talk about environmental freedom, where you want to do your work, where you want to live, all of the things. It's all connected. And let me know if you've ever done a spiritual vision board, or if you've done my spiritual vision board. And then Fridays, we talk about emotional, relationship freedom, sorry. And then Saturdays, we talk about spiritual freedom and then financial freedom. So all of those were connected. That's what I was really swimming in today, meaning that my contribution is connected to my finances, my spirituality, my relationships, all of the things. And so I'm really like questioning today. I'm like, this is, and then I had a message as well on LinkedIn, which was like quite confusing. And so I was like, really? Are you kidding? It's been all sorted and it's all fine now. But I was supposed to do a VIP day today, which is contribution freedom. And I didn't realize it's actually a bank holiday, because I wasn't going to celebrate the holidays. And if you know me, you'll know why I wasn't going to celebrate the holidays. Anyway, regardless of that. So I'd set things up in motion and they hadn't planned out as the way that I had planned. So I was disappointed with that. And then I got this message and it was about that. And I was just like, oh man. So that sent me on that spiral, you know, when one thing leads to the next thing, and then it wasn't like straight after each other, but it wasn't me being as high vibe as what I'd like to be, as in contributing. So that it's not that we want the world, the physical world, to push and pull us. And that's what I talk about with intentional living, not allowing our physical reality, our visible world, to determine our vibrational reality. However, in our humanness, that's what we do sometimes. So I'm like, okay, let me process. Robin helps me process. And then I just went for a nap. I was like, okay, so I've woken up in a different point of attraction. So we rate our feeling, how in soul flow we are versus in the funk. So I was going in the funk today. So we rate between a 1 and 11. And I talk about this on my spiritual vision board challenge, and I'll leave that in the cards and in the comments, so they won't go into it now, because it's quite a in-depth way of thinking about being in alignment with your vision board. So I have my vision to build my spiritual business online. And so when things are not, do not seem to be going in the momentum and the direction, that's then not as in alignment, right? I'm not as in alignment. So I'm going to notice that. So I'm going to rate between a 1 and 11, 1 being connected to my higher self. I felt totally disconnected. Not totally, but do you know what I mean? A lot less connected in those moments. It's not like a whole day. I don't say like, you know, we have a whole day and a whole week in funk. That wasn't the case. But those moments that I'm just like, really? So I rated myself a 10 before I came online. And then something, when I woke up, something occurred to me, something led me to go and take an action, which I'll share in just a second. So now it's an 11 again. So Robin says a nap helped me too today. Yeah, we decided, okay, we're just going to go for a nap. Robin says, let my human rest. Yeah. And sometimes it is that. Sometimes when it is that you're being pushed and pulled by the visible, the physical, what's going on, is removing yourself from it. And then I'm glad that your nap helped you today. So before I talk about the cards, before I talk about the crystal, before I talk about the energy, which I hadn't done today either, and it's quite late here in the UK. So that tells you, bring in your spiritual routines, bring in your, do that. I did have all of my journaling stuff on my bed today. I was like, I'm going into my bed. I was watching movies. I did all the stuff. I don't watch television very rarely. So I watched movies, I watched some YouTube because that's kind of my TV, YouTube, and just chilled and just took myself out of it because I work from home. I can. But when I woke up, I'd gone on to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and I saw my saved playlist. So I've had students that have gone through my 5-day YouTube from scratch challenge, and that's what I'm going to be basing my book on. It's called YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencers compass to leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube. That's what I talk about. That's what I love. We teach what we need to learn or what we're learning most. And so there is a free chapter available again for you in the cards, and there's also a masterclass as well where I talk about building your spiritual YouTube channel. So I went on and I saw some saved playlists from past students, and it's a husband and wife, and Robin, I know you know who this is, and I have total full permission to share the journey that we've had in terms of contribution. So just past students who've become friends, and so the wife, as a student, the spiritual businesswoman, has decided to pause her spiritual business and just focus on family. That's where her contribution is. That's, as a light worker, we don't, our light work is different. Sometimes it's to be in business, sometimes it's to be in family, sometimes it's to work a job, whatever. And so her husband isn't as spiritual. I don't even think he'd call himself spiritual anyway. As a result of this student, this lady, a friend of mine, going through my 5-day YouTube from scratch challenge for spiritual YouTubers, her husband ended up doing the course as well. And they both won a VIP day. So I gave them a separate VIP day. And literally, he's had the most minimal amount of support and coaching from me since then. So he did my 5 days, and then he won a VIP day. And so on this saved playlist was his YouTube channel as well, which he'd only just started to build. And I looked on, so I teach to do your own YouTube challenges. So I looked on his video, and it had a URL for his online teaching platform, because that's what I teach. Do your YouTube channel and also do your online course, and marry the two things and build your community. So he's built a Facebook community, really, like, he's done so well. So I saw the URL and I was like, oh, that is amazing, because I hadn't seen the URL. I teach to create Thinkific as doing your work in the world, and that can then buy a URL and redirect your online teaching platform to a URL that isn't Thinkific. So I noticed that. I was like, it said .com on the end, and I went onto it, and the site looks amazing. Now, I've seen this from ground zero. So I say that the wife has gone out of business or paused their business, but really they're merging. She's probably done the site, and as a family unit, their son has been doing the editing and stuff. The site looks phenomenal. I haven't reached out to them to let them know that I've actually seen it. It looks amazing. I went onto their Facebook group. The header, all the things, I'm like, oh my gosh, because we sat down and we literally mapped it out, planned it out, and he's just followed through. He's got a really strong vision. He's very, very talented at what he does, and he believes in what he does. And so that, yay, someone says that's so awesome too. I know, right? So this is what that taught me today, is in that memory of, you can give people information, because I got her permission to share, because she is a close friend now, so not just a student, but that's how she came to me, right? She'd had readings over the time, and she knew I was going to come into her life. She knew, but we didn't know why. Exactly, right? We thought it was just going to be for her, but it's been, as a family unit, it sparked off so much. And so when we talk about legacy, the book on the back of my Soul Legacy journal, the quote that and I'll read the quote in just a second, is inspired by a quote that Oprah shares. And she says that she spoke to her mentor, because everybody has a mentor, right? She spoke to her mentor, and Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou, the late Dr. Maya Angelou, and Maya Angelou said, when Oprah said, this is going to be my legacy, and I think it was about her school, and Maya Angelou was like, you have no idea what your legacy is, my dear, kind of thing, because that's how she spoke. And she said, your legacy is basically all the people that you've touched on your show over the 25 years that she did that, and their families, and the people that she would never even know, the people that changed their life, that just did something a little bit differently because they heard her speak, or they heard a conversation, or they had that experience. And I love it. So my quote for the Soul Legacy Journal was inspired by that. And I say, your soul legacy is every life you impact, influence, or impress upon, and every soul client, soul family, and soul tribe you touch. Soul expansion begins with you. So even when you have no idea what your work's done, how you're showing up, how it could be a year ago that you've supported somebody, it could be 3 days ago that you've supported somebody, you don't always know the ripple effects. I knew that he was going to go off and he was going to do really well. But this VIP day was months ago, absolutely months ago. And the level of editing that his son, he loves that anyway, has done has been absolutely phenomenal. So I'm like, oh, wow. So part of, do you know what? Why do people do that? Spam you stuff. It's so rude. And Robin says it's a ripple effect, isn't it? Yeah, it is a ripple effect. It's beautiful. And so that getting out of our own way as a light worker, we don't know. I always say that, just having that ripple effect, reaching one person at a time, is just a beautiful thing. So what had me thinking and the cogs turning is my level of contribution. When I started to build my network, it was the Spiritual Business Woman Network, because I was like, and I've never really, when I first started out, I was coaching, holistic life coaching for women, because they say niche down, right? And then it was like single parents, and it was and when you evolve with your niche, let me know if your niche has evolved, how you want to contribute into the world. But it didn't feel right to me to lock it down for women. When I was part of a co-author book series that went #1 on Amazon, it was Empowered Women of Social Media. 44 women share their voices for the power of social networking. And immediately I bought the domain name called Empowered Men of Social Media. Never did anything with it, but I did. And I remember the GoDaddy guy saying, oh, that's really cool. I've always had that duality. It's never been that thing of just women, just women, just women. And so switching to the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network was that my way of sharing and having men as well as women. So as I contribute out into the world now, I'm looking back on my journey, and significantly there's been men along the journey. I'm not abandoning women, by the way, but there's been men along the journey. I remember a guy, when I was doing the Get Clients Now facilitator program, Cliff his name was, I don't know what he's doing now, but it was quite kind of local. I ended up working with him, and it was a really joyful experience. And then another guy, when I did, oh wow, okay, this is dropping in. Another guy when Robert, we was talking when I was doing my prosperity coaching program, he was significant as well. And then when I did my intentional living codes, like I call it, intentional living coaching, another guy, Juan Carlos, he was the person that I coached. And I'm just like, so today, and then Mike, again, he's got a testimonial on my channel, so I can say his name. is just doing really, really well again. So I don't know what that is. I've just put those like 4 together in that string of it's been significant. What I wanted to do was just say that as women, we kind of get stuck in our heads, and it's a different process and a different journey. And sometimes it's a harder journey for us to get out of our own way. And so the guys that I have worked with, super easy, like super easy. Just say to a guy, do this, do that, do this. And I like, you might have opinions about that, but that has been my experience. And then just like, let it be easy. So I'd run my YouTube ad and I was going to alter different things today. And immediately when I woke up, I knew to actually include men in my YouTube ad. That is what I want to say. It was just, it fell off balance and off kilter. And when you run YouTube ads, there's a lot of times that ads will run into, it'll run in front of like children's channels and stuff, because mums tend to give their devices to their children, and they're on channels, they're on their thing, so it will run the ads, and the ads will run in front of the children basically, and the children will kind of just leave it going, so you've got to exclude some stuff. So all that to say, my vibration raised again, and obviously doing my spiritual journal and my spiritual routines and my spiritual rituals on my live, things drop. This process is really, really powerful. So when I switched, no, actually before I came online, and I developed the intentional living codes with my partner at the time, and it was I knew it was as much for men as it was for women, and I wanted him to bring that energy for the guys. I'm like, I can't read the guys the way that a guy can, but I'm just not gonna actually say that anymore. I don't believe that's true. It is what it is. So that is what I want to say about that. That is my energy, and the vibration has altered today through my nap. So the book that I, as part of my spiritual routine, let me know if you are reading a certain book on how you want to contribute out into the world. I have a book club and a book reading list of some of the books that I share. And so every day I'll listen to or read a certain book that will support me in whatever area I'm focusing on for intentional living. So today it's contribution freedom, and I chose the book Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks through Abraham's Teaching. So every Monday I will just listen to a little bit of Ask. I have got the book, I don't have it on me, I have got the paperback, which is quite one, because I love the book and I love Abraham's teaching. Let me know if you love Abraham's teaching. So it was Ask and It Is Given, and let me know if you've read the book and you followed any of the processes. Some of my processes, I'll talk about the soul income game in a second. Robin, you have to let me know how your spending went if you managed to do that. I'll talk about that in a second, because I was inspired by them. So today they were talking about the creative workshop process. Have you heard of their creative workshop process? Robin, I don't know if I've said that it is this process, but I've shared this with you, I think, as I've listened to it. When I go on my walk, sometimes I'll listen to a book. I didn't listen to a book today and I haven't recently, as I've gone on my walks as much, because I need new headphones, because my daughter decides she wants my headphones. So when I get them again, when I go on my walk, I'll listen. So the first time I heard this, it was like, this is so cool. And I heard it again today, and I want to share that. So their creative workshop process, I always get confirmations of what I'm doing. And basically they talk about, Jerry's explaining that to break down, he says, 4 areas of your life, and think about the areas of your life. And they talk about segment intending, which I talk about on my spiritual vision board challenge. And basically you're setting the energy forth, which I could have done today, which I didn't. I did for this, which is like moving sections of your day, setting the energy forth and the vision of it, so that you have that more positive experience. So they were saying break down your life into 4 areas. I break it down for intentional living into 7, and write out what you want to experience in that area of your life, basically. And write the things, and then write why you want to experience that thing, whatever it is. So say if it is you want to, I don't know, lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? Because I feel really good. I feel like I have more energy. I'm, I feel a certain way. I feel sexy in my body, whatever. I feel more attractive that way, whatever it is. If it is, I want to have a new car. Well, yeah, because I like the feeling of driving a new car. It gets me from A to B, and blah 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 blah, whatever. I can't even think, because my head's like, I should think of. So why you want to do your business, why you want to work with certain clients. So that's, again, for me, for the contribution, it's that legacy. Like, no matter where it comes, men or women, it is, I can't have the impact that I want to have if the people that I work with are blocked and they won't take action. So it's like you get to that point where, let me know if this is true for you. So I want to work with spiritual business owners so that we can make our difference in the world collectively, so that we can raise the vibration of our planet collectively, so that we can launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy with ease, grace, and flow, so that we can earn passive income, so that we can make the world a better place, so that we can, do you know what I mean? So there's reasons behind it, so that I can have financial freedom, so that my clients can have financial freedom, so that we can leave a footprint in the world, so there's reasons, so that if it doesn't look the way that you want it to look and feel, it's like that throws me out of alignment. It throws my vibration wonky. So that's what happened to me today. I'm just saying. Let me just say, hang on. Robin says, I tithed the firefighter department again. Yes. Ouch. I just hurt my finger. I looked at the furniture, a new phone and computer, but didn't choose any to buy. I realized I like to shop that in real life too. Oh gosh, I realized I like to wait a minute, I realized I shop like that in real life too, that you don't actually go ahead and buy. Did you lose your vibrational money? Excuse me, vibrational money again, Robin? You did not lose your vibration. You have to actually spend it, add it up. We're getting used to this game. So if you've not spent your vibrational money, I'll talk about it just now. I'll explain it. Let me just see. Robin says, I'll put stuff in my car and then start putting it all back. Sorry. So Robin says, I'll start putting stuff in my car, then I'll start putting it all back. That is like so insightful. Had you noticed that before you did the soul income game? Like, or you probably noticed it, but like really acknowledge that that's not actually helpful in terms of spending your vibrational money. I love that. Robin said it was fun to shop still. Just saying. I love you. You are amazing. That is okay. Hang on, I'm still getting comments coming in. Just in case you're listening. Robin says, I know I'm not a good shopper. So if you're watching on the replay, are you a good shopper? So the Soul Legacy Journal, okay, is part of my Soul Legacy Journal, and the spiritual routines and rituals. One of them is the Soul Income Game. As I mentioned, Abraham and Abraham's teachings and Esther and Jerry Hicks, and so they have something called the Prosperity Game. And they say they give you money to spend, and they say make it like a checking account, like as real as possible. And they give you $1,000, then $2,000 the next day, then $3,000, and then on day 50 you spend $50,000 in one day. And they say that you can carry it over a little bit, but they encourage you to spend it. On day 300, you spend 300,000. How are you going to do that, Robin? And then if you do it for a whole year, like increase the amounts, it's 66 million. So Robin, would you be able to spend 66 million in a year? I was like, I want to connect this to my soul client income. So the Soul Legacy Journal is a magical journal, right? It's my Soul Legacy Journal. And what it does, I've set the intention for it to give you $1,000, pounds or euros, wherever you are in the world, of your currency. And there are rules. You've got to tithe 10% so that when you're receiving, you know that you're also giving. It's not just for you. So oftentimes we think, oh, I can't receive that money, it's just for me. But when you're tithing, that 10%, you're knowing that when you are attracting or you're earning that money, or money's coming to you, you're doing really good things with it. So you start to trust the vibration of it. And so you can't pay bills because they've already taken care of. And the other rule is that there's no savings. So to feel the energy. So on the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast, I talk about spirituality and business success without doing busy work, without being broke, and without experiencing burnout. We take our soul path of least resistance to serve one to many and earn passive income and leveraged income. So if you are not subscribed, then do subscribe, do like, do comment, do click the notification bell so that you can join in the Soul Legacy game, Soul Income game with us. So if you don't spend your money, as Robin didn't, you've got to spend it every single day. And if you like tithe every single day, and I spend all of the rest of my money on a Sunday because that's Financial Freedom Sunday. And so you notice what's coming into your world and what's going out, and how you feel about money and how you feel about spending. Now, Robin, this is not like personal to you, you know that, but I'm just going to use that as an example because you brought this up, which is really helpful, I think. And Robin says, I definitely need more practice on this shopping business. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Exactly. So this is a beautiful game, which I didn't realize could even bring up resistance when it's vibrational money. That's a gift to you, right, from the Soul Legacy Journal for you to make memories with your soul clients, your soul family, and your soul tribe. So when you are thinking of the things that you would like to buy on the Soul Legacy Journal, I'm just going to scroll down into the YouTube comments because Robin says you tithed, so that's fine, because that's the fire department. That's got a close personal meaning to you. You looked at furniture, a new phone, and computer. So it's, why do you want the new phone? So merging in the process of the creative workshop, when you say ask and it is given. So you have to ask and it is given. It can't be given if when you're given the money to vibrational money to buy it. Don't forget that when we think about intentional living and we think about the law of vibration, law of attraction, we become that energy first. We believe the things first. It's an idea that we are manifesting, that we're bringing into our visible world. So that if our brain is in conflict, then it's not even going to manifest. If we can't do it vibrationally, we're definitely not going to do it in the visible world, right? So the furniture, why do I want to have the furniture? So it's comfortable. If something broken, just to replace it, just to feel a certain presence. I love my living room. This furniture is super old, really. It's like 12 years old, but it still looks pretty great. I would love new furniture. And then I look and I think, I just like the furniture anyway. So would I replace it all? No, do you know what I mean? So anyway, the new phone, why do you want a new phone? What does the state of your phone look like? Where's the permission to have the phone? So when have you ever bought, and not just you, Robin, just saying as an example, if you've ever bought a new phone, what does that feel like to have that new phone? Why? What do you not have now that you would have? There's always contrast at the back of it, right? So a new computer, there's contrast of having an older computer versus a new computer. So I have my Mac. So at one point my Mac was on my vision board, and I'm like, I would just love a new Mac. It wasn't actually new when I bought it. And an iPhone and a Blue Yeti mic, and I've got an iPhone now. It's an 11, I believe, and it's white. And I remember visualizing it, and I remember seeing it on the site, and blah 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 blah. You know, so that, to be fair, to be able to have my phone and to be able to do these videos, and I got a ring light the other day, you know. So it's why you'd need it. Sometimes we feel greedy, we feel like it's evil to have the money. It is energy. And so this is the process of being comfortable with accepting money in your spiritual business so that you can buy the things and experiences that you want to have. That's part of serving. It's okay, because we would do it if we were working for someone else. If we were working in a job, we'd have no problem with spending that money, right? I'm just going to have a look at the comments. So Robin says, it was great to have the awareness of my own shopping habits. Seriously though, yeah, thank you for that, Robin. That's real. So when you do your work in the world, and because Robin and I speak every single day, and we've got like a mastermind going on, like, you know, we're really good friends, as well as working and as well as me coaching Robin. And so hearing that is something that I would have never have guessed. When we put our work out in the world, we just think everybody's going to do the thing, get the thing done. You know, I'm going to give you this information. This is how you do it. This is how I do it. This has been really helpful for me. Take what you need and leave the rest. But sometimes the level of resistance that people have then means that they're blocked. So then they don't get the result that you know that they can get. And then you start to question, like, hang on a minute, like, am I supposed to do this work in the world? It's super not working. But the vibrational money voucher, the soul income game, is a fraction of what I teach. A tiny little speck. Excuse me. But I know now even more so, and that's what Abraham and Jerry, Esther and Jerry Hicks talk about, being in vibrational alignment. They do say that you want to feel a certain way before you do it. So you want to raise your vibration. So my vibration today was a 10, and it went back to an 11. Let me know what your vibrational frequency is for your Contribution Freedom Monday, Robin. And that if you bought a new computer and a phone, would that support you in doing your work in the world? And what furniture was it? So Robin says the current furniture is quite uncomfortable. There you go. Why could you not be in comfort, right? So it's not just making, excuse me, my nose. It's not just making things up and like, oh, I just want this new thing, and toss out the old thing. Because we have judgment on that, but we don't have to. Robin says, my phone is a few years old and jams up. My computer doesn't meet updated requirements to run smoothly. I use all these things to contribute. So with that new armed awareness and writing down and using Jerry and Esther Hicks' creative workshop process, because I have you read the book Asking It Is Given? Write down the reasons why, and then go and spend that vibrational money. If you don't spend it by the Sunday, you'll lose it. The fact that you've gone to look, Robin, and the fact that you didn't spend it last week, I want to extend this, because this is a Soul Legacy journal. We get to launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy. And so I'm going to give you an extended time today, because you looked, to actually go and put the things in the cart and spend it, so that you can move forward with this week, and we can get back on track with actually spending that vibrational money. How about that? Because one, I'm a rule breaker. They're my rules to break. It's my soul income game. And two, you've just identified something that you can now address and use it for the purpose of this game. It's a game, right? Robin says, working through the thought process with you. Contribution Freedom Monday is a 9. So mine had gone down to a 10. It's back to a 9. No, to an 11. And so, yes, I'm going to give you grace, beautiful, because you've done so amazing with your tithing. You have tithed, and yes, you get an extension only for a day, only for today, because if that's going to help you with contributing, I want you to visualize yourself contributing, using the phone, using the computer, using and sitting in the furniture. right? That's part of the spiritual vision boards, because when we do a vision board process, and that's why I harp on about my vision board so much, and I don't do just stick cut boards on a thing. What might work for some people and it really doesn't for others. Of like, see how I'm sitting here and I'm putting my arms on my sofa, and well, we visualized this. I actually bought this, my ex-husband bought this sofa actually, or we bought it. I'd say he bought it because he got it on his credit card when we bought the house. And I can't say I went out and got the sofa. We got it jointly, but I visualized it, and we went in the shop and we could see it, and then we went home and we measured the space, and then I looked for curtains, and then I looked for the rug, and I was taking pictures and matching because I'm a matching freak, all of the things. And so when you are about to buy something, that's what you do. You go out and when you've got the money in your hand, you go, or the money on your credit card, whatever. I don't have credit cards. I don't really believe in that. But when you have the possibility, it's a different vibration. So if you've ever been on a trip, or you've ever bought new clothes, or you've got some money from somewhere and you're about to spend it, there is a very different energy to, I don't have the money in my bank for this, or like, oh gosh, do I actually spend this last bit of money? So it's a different feeling altogether. So Robin is doing emojis of the furniture and the phone and the laptop on the computer. I love that. Thank you, Robin. I love that. Thank you for playing the Soul Income game with me. I think the more we do it and the more that we have people doing it as well, it's like we'll see what our own process is and what the fun of it is. And that's what it's supposed to do. It is a magical journal, and it is to support us in launching, leading and leaving our soul legacy. So today in Robin's world, it is, what chakra is it today, Robin? I didn't even look. Oh, it's root chakra. I know that. Root chakra. Robin talks about chakras and unblocking your chakras and the energy of that. I won't go into that because I've been on a while. And I had bought, so that's part of my spiritual routine, being aware of my chakras, being aware of the root chakra. So Robin talks about the root chakra, and when your chakras are blocked, or the energy, you've not cleared out the energy in the gunk from like even past lifetimes, this lifetime. Sometimes it's stuff that's not even ours. Sometimes it's stuff that is the experiences that you have are like warping your energy, like in different layers, as Robin says, with your 7 days to unblock your chakras challenge. And I'm learning. And when your root chakra is blocked, or it doesn't have to be all the way completely blocked, but you're going to experience physical symptoms, psychological symptoms, physical symptoms, patterns and habits, until you unblock it, release it, or just release it slowly, whatever it is. And so sometimes things will show up like that, right? Root chakra. Thank you, Robin. And so it is that energy. And so Robin does a chakra energy assessment call and clearing that. And I do believe that we teach what it is that we need to learn. We walk our talk, and we get to know even on a deeper level. So I love, Robin, that you are sharing that and you're supporting me. So the root chakra is red. And when I bought, I've got the little pouch over there, I bought some crystals, like a chakra beginners pack. So that's why I use each of the crystals for my chakras every single day. And I don't use them. I use the energy of them. I don't do anything. I haven't meditated on them or what have you. But that's the red jasper, and so that's for grounding, cleansing, and calm. So if you're having any experiences, chakra energy, want to use energy healing, Reiki, all the things, then hit Robin up. Then she'll support you. Robin says, joys of an empath, sucking up all the energy around us. Yes. And even the energy online. So when I experienced what I experienced today, that was the energy. It sends my energy wonky. And when the things are projected at me, to me, and it takes me a while to then collect my energy. Sometimes it's like it will just bounce off. But when it's something that I care about, or things that I care about, or people that I care about, I am quite sensitive soul, as you support highly sensitive people as well, and empaths and light workers. You know, we do absorb that and take that in sometimes. Robin says you explain that very well. Oh, thank you. I have a great teacher. I have a great mentor. Thank you. Thank you very much for teaching me. Do you remember on your challenge when Robin did a 7-day challenge? It's available on a YouTube channel, and you'll do that again, right? Your following grows, we'll do it again live. I was like, I have no idea. I have no clue. And I haven't done deep reading, but because I've been focusing my attention, I like to be aware of the different things. And I just think you being my lead soul guide instructor, one, I want to experience your work, and two, I want to tap into that for me. We are energy, and I do believe in it. I'm going to pull the card in a second. So we talk about vision, values. I haven't talked about so much, but I've talked about your vibration for intentional living. So your values, intentional living is living in alignment with your values, so that if it's okay with your values, Robin, to spend that money, meaning that you want to spend money intentionally, and you want to contribute, and that is really like your calling to contribute into the world, then it becomes okay to then spend that money. It becomes like, oh, well, of course I can, rather than, oh, no, I can't. So I'm going to pull this card from the Keepers of the Light in just a second. Robin says, oh, yes, we'll absolutely do the chakra healing challenge live again. I'm really excited about that as we grow. I'm still going to do the rest of my spiritual vision board challenge. I did it. I've done it twice actually in the year. And as the channel grows, I'm really excited to actually do that. So I believe that is it. We've been on here a while, so I'm going to pull and read this card. I pulled this card. It's Horus. It's Cosmic Gateway. I don't know if you remember this, Robin, but we had that when I was having an energy reset. This card came out, and it came out when you were getting signs and synchronicities. We get them all day long. Excuse me, of an ego. And Robin had got, I think it was on the same day, right? So this says, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. And I want to say, when it says that, it's like, oh, wow, that's so wonderful. You do remember. Robin says, I do remember. It's amazing. All these things are amazing. All these spiritual tools, all these spiritual routines are amazing. However, underneath them is soul guided action. It's not that we just get these messages and these confirmations and then we can just sit down and roll over. I was watching something on YouTube today, and a guy his net worth's worth 60 million, and he was saying about, you know, people having vision and doing these things, and then, you know, you could get in your car and visualize or meditate on, you know, getting to the place that you want to get to. However, if you don't drive that car, if you're not driving it, you'll be in your garage all day long. So when I share these cards and I share all the things that I share, it's not that there's not action. And I have a masterclass to support you in taking action, which I'll talk about at the end. Because I don't want to get it like, we don't just take action, but then we don't just do the inner work as well. So this says, again, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. The changes don't happen on their own. just want to say about Horus is the Egyptian eagle-headed god and son, twin flame of the goddess Isis. He is known for his foresight, psychic awareness, and ability to travel between the worlds. He can help us move into the cosmos with our mind, meditations, and prayer, so that we can harness the natural magnet that surrounds us. He was known for ritual magic in the past, And now he helps create pockets of energy in the world where we can access light, wisdom, and insight. If you are seeing the symbol of an eye appearing around you, know that Horus is asking you to become aware of how you are influencing the energy around you and how in turn it is influencing you. And I believe since this reset, since I first had this card, that has been absolutely true. I've noticed a lot of me influencing what I'm, the energy, the people around me, and I've had massive shifts. And at the time, I didn't know the big shift, my relationship, the big shift that was coming. But it absolutely, that is definitely on point with that. It's huge. It's huge. And I hadn't started this my spiritual journal with me either. So the extended message is, you are connected to the universe and have the ability to manifest miraculous experiences. Now today I did not feel like that. Today I was like, okay, like it wasn't a point where I'm done, but there's a point where I've done that in my spiritual business. I'm like, I'm so done. I'm so over. And I'm very mindful of not saying that. But there's those feelings where this is not working for me. Do you know what I mean? So, and then you go nap, and then things feel different. The perspective feels different. It says your thoughts, words, and actions are like magnets drawing the energy that creates and cultivates your world. You have a stellar gateway chakra above your head, a vortex of energy that is influenced by your own energy. Hopefully you're hearing that. I'm going to read that again. You are connected to the universe and have the ability to manifest miraculous experiences. Do you believe that? Your thoughts, words, and actions are like magnets drawing the energy that creates and cultivates your world. You have a stellar gateway chakra above your head, a vortex of energy that is influenced by your own energy. You can place ideas into this vortex to create what you are seeking. The universe offers you guidance, abundance, support, and healing based on your capacity to connect to it and accept it. You have a real opportunity to further that connection now by sending prayers and intentions out into the cosmos. I love that. And when I pulled this, it didn't jump out the way that the other cards have jumped out. And I was like, really? I've kind of seen this before. But reading the extended message, that is huge. And that, my energy, my thoughts, my words, I'm like, I'm just going to go. And Robin went to sleep. I'm just going to go to sleep because I'm feeling that way. Do you know what I mean? Your words, your thoughts, your actions, that's huge. And as light workers, as creators, we believe all of this stuff, access stuff. But then we kind of put it by the wayside when life is pushing and pulling us. Is that true for you? Like, hear the words, accept the words, know the words, but are you actually doing it? And so when I say that working with spiritual business women wasn't just my intention, it was working with men as well. And I feel like the balance of that energy and bringing in that energy is it's very inspiring to me. I don't care male or female, whatever, as long as you can learn to align your own vibration and take that action. I'm a happy camper. Oh, really? Get off my YouTube channel. Hang on. Put user in time now. Robin says, I didn't think about the crown chakra being the same as the vortex that Abraham speaks of. Right. Cool. So we had, I think I sent this card to you at the time. I think so. So Robin and I have our own mini mastermind. I have a mastermind in the Soul Legacy Academy. But it meant something different. So even when you're doing your spiritual journal, your spiritual routines, and you're journaling along with me, you're still going to get something in the place that you are in. I'm in a different place and space that I was in when I got this. And obviously, Robin, that you heard that in a different way as well. It's just beautiful. Robin says, makes complete sense though. Crown chakra is our direct connection with source. And I know that you talk about that in your teachings and your offerings. And yeah, it does make complete sense. And it's like, oh, wow, now I know. So contribution freedom. So for you today, Robin, on your channel, you'll be talking about the root chakra, right? And unblocking your root chakra, and you'll go through. And it was yesterday that you talked about the crown chakra. I think I watched half of that video, so I will be going back and finishing off watching that. It's super, super helpful. So hopefully you've been inspired today with my spiritual journal and you've journaled along with me. I'd love to continue on this journey with you. Share it out. Please do share out the Soul Legacy TV. And again, like this video because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Click the bell, subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified. If you subscribe, that's great. But if you click the bell, then you'll get notified of when I do go live. I go live every single day. I'm doing my spiritual journal. Again, I have the masterclass, which Robin has been sharing. Thank you, Robin. So my spiritual business masterclass, it is for spiritual biz YouTubers or want to be spiritual biz YouTubers. You want to get your message out there, align your movement, your message, and your money, and you want to be featured online. You want to write your book online. You want to create your online program. All of those things is what I wanted to do, and so I learnt them small, and then that is now what I teach, and I love that I get to do this work in the way that I do, in an automated and a leveraged way. So that is what I will teach you as well. The masterclass happens on the last Monday of the month at 3 p.m. UK time. So that is it for my spiritual journal. Robin, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. Oh, thank you. Love you too. So I will leave the spiritual vision boards challenge in the cards. I will leave the playlist to this spiritual journal with me, so that you can click the reminders and you can get notified when I do go live. So I shall see you on the next video. This is your soul sister, Iona, signing off. Take care.